Hello everybody, this is GamerGar and welcome back to another 10 days of our lovely Stardew Valley Let's Play. This is the Riverlands Challenge. At this moment in time, we are prioritising the collection of golden walnuts and maximising our farming skill as quickly as possible. So we need to max out combat, farming, and of course, foraging. Once they're maxed out, we can get into that lovely mastery cave, get the fishing mastery. We're also going to free Professor Snail and focus on his side quest as quickly as possible. We'll start by doing the survey report, of course, for the starfish and the flowers. The answer is always the same, so once you do it the first time, you can remember what it is going forward. It's a nice easy 2 golden walnuts. Because we have freed Professor Snail and activated that little cutscene, we can now run around Ginger Island and collect all of the artifacts to get way more golden walnuts. But first, we're going to explore more parts of Ginger Island and get as many of the freebie golden walnuts as possible. The non-RNG golden walnuts. We're then going to go back into the volcano dungeon and we are focusing on more golden walnuts here. We're also focusing on combat XP here as well. And if we pick up any sorts of resources going in between the zones, that's also a bonus for us, because copper, iron, gold, they can all be used to make different manner of sprinklers and bombs for future Scout Cavern runs. Now, I done the maths and I don't need to get Robin to level 7 to learn the flute block and the drum block to complete that mermaid side quest to get the 5 golden walnuts. I should have enough to get those once we do some farming, along with the frog evaluation of the melon and the wheat. So we should be safe to get into the walnut room without going down that route. Now, for those of you who are new to this challenge, there's a reason we want to get into that walnut room as quickly as possible. We want to get magic bait. We want to use the magic bait to pull up all of the legendary fish. Once all the legendary fish have been caught, that has a chance to activate a very specific quest inside the walnut room to pull up all of the brothers and sisters of the legendary fish. And we will absolutely abuse that quest then to pull up as many legend 2s as possible to make millions upon millions of gold. Because the main purpose of this challenge is to see how much gold we can make by just sticking to fishing all the time. So we haven't really sold anything else. For example, we haven't sold iridium bars. I've got hundreds of iridium ores back on the main farm. They're just sitting there right now. I have smelted up a few into bars to upgrade tools and to fix up the boat to Ginger Island. That's about it. So Professor Snail's quest is priority number 1 at the moment. And thankfully, I know where every single artifact is, or the best places to go to get those artifacts for our good friend Professor Snail. Once I picked up another golden walnut here from the Gembird puzzle area, I had 20 in total again, so I'm going to use these and fix up the beach. This will unlock another area that we can go to get even more golden walnuts. And the great thing about this is that the pirates were home, so we could take on the dart minigame and get 3 additional golden walnuts tonight, which was going to be a great boost for us. Not only will we get 3 golden walnuts from the dart minigame, but there's also another golden walnut hidden inside this Pirate's Cove down at the bottom right hand corner. But first, let's see if we can score 301 points. The goal here is to try to hit that triple 20 to get a big bunch of 60s, and then just try to snipe out the last number 2 that you need. Every time you do the minigame, you have less and less throws, but it's easy enough to do. The next day, we are watering the crops, and normally I don't leave farming so late, but at the start of the challenge it was just a big rush on fishing and getting into the Scout Cavern during the festival and getting calico eggs and things like that. So it's only now we're getting around to farming, but also the Riverland farm, it's not the best farm in the game for putting down crops, and I didn't want to waste huge amounts of time trying to make sprinklers earlier in the game and spending half the day watering up crops. I decided I would upgrade my watering can all the way to iridium and then purchase a few hundred crops, which should get me to level 6. Then we can make sprinklers, and trust me, we have more than enough resources to bang out tons of sprinklers, automate the process, and then go hard on crops to get level 10 farming. That is the tactic. There's a reason why we want level 10 farming. We want artisan, so the smoked fish sell for way more. Robin will make another fishing pond, and we will try to get Robin now to make an absolute ton of these, because when I start to capture all of those lovely Legend 2 fishies, I want to put a huge amount into fishing ponds, just to show you the true value of the fishing pond. I want to show you just how overpowered they can be when you have a farm filled up with these Legend 2 fishing ponds. And if we can get some golden animal crackers later on, that'll be a bonus. So we're shaking down trees today, trying to get golden coconuts. We need Clint to break these open to get some key items. you will get a golden walnut out of the first golden coconut, and then hopefully an artifact for Professor Snail afterwards. Now, I spent a few in-game hours at this god-awful event, and I will admit to you right now, because I'm terrible at this game, I did cheat. I recorded all of these statues lighting up. I then played back the recording and wrote down all of the colours, and that's how I did it. Because I wasn't going to spend a whole day trying to memorise what all the combinations were. So I decided to save myself some time in real life. Now every time we hoe up one of these pieces of ginger, we will actually get foraging XP, which is absolutely great. And the ginger for the most part will respawn every single day. Now not in the same areas, you kind of have to go on a bit of an exploration to find it, but it's going to be some fierce handy XP. I also figured out that you get foraging XP from panning, so I'm going to try something now, maybe in a week or two, to see how good panning can be to rack up foraging XP, especially if you have an iridium pan. So that might be an interesting watch. We finally got to the summit of the volcano, we get our prismatic shard, and we get some extra golden walnuts. We're now going to put down 3 fish smokers and a bait maker, and I'm going to show you how powerful this area can be now in the next day or two when it comes to fishing up lava eels. Lava eels are really common up at the top of the volcano. We're now going to do some fishing down here, just past Professor Snail's tent. We got our very first blue discus, which was nice, and it was a perfect catch. We also pulled up the fossilized spine as well, which we needed for the archaeology quest, and we also got the snake skull. So we're making pretty good progress there. We're now going to spend a good duration of time cutting down trees. Our foraging skill is on 9, so we really just need to grind it out now, get that to 10 and move on. There's plenty of trees on Ginger Island that we can cut down. Any tree seeds we pick up, we plant them over in the quarry. We'll make a huge tree farm over there. We're also going to go back into the volcano dungeon as well to get some resources. Level 9 foraging gives us the rain totem. So we're going to start today by donating some fossilized items to Professor Snail just to get some more golden walnuts. We're then going to take a nice trip up to the top of the volcano, and we are going to do some serious fishing. I had an absolute ton of coal on me. I had lots of trap bobbers made. Trap bobbers are really cheap to make as well. And we had lots of stuff that we could use for energy. I now enchanted my iridium rod, and I got the perfect enchant, preserving. It's really nice, because every time you pull up a fish, there's a chance you won't use up that bait. And because we're using lava eel bait, we really want to save as much of that as possible, because all of the lava eels we pull up we want to smoke and we don't want to turn them into bait. But if we have to, then we absolutely will. The lava eel bait will dramatically increase the rate on which we pull up lava eels up at the top of this volcano. Now the lava eel is a very difficult catch. Even with the trap bobber, I actually failed 1 lava eel today. So when it comes to fishing in general, yes, this place is quite powerful when it comes to making money, but you really need your wits about you. Lava eels are not to be underestimated. Now there are things I could take to make life a little bit easier. I could take a buff food to increase my fishing skill, which makes my fishing bar bigger. Of course, when we get the advanced iridium rod, we can put 2 tackles on that. So if we were struggling big time, we could always take out the quality bobber for a second trap bobber. A lot of the tackles in Stardew Valley will stack when you combine them together. Having 2 trap bobbers is a great way, especially if you're fighting Legend 2s. If you find yourself struggling, there's no harm in putting 2 trap bobbers on instead of 1. I know you can make more money from the iridium qualities over the gold, but isn't it better to have a gold star fish rather than having no fish at all? So that's just something to think about as well. Because the fishing bite rates were very quick, having the 3 fish smokers was coming in fierce handy. Now I could probably put it off with 2, but having the 3rd one there served as a really good backup. And fishing 3 lava eels at once was just amazing, because each one is going to sell for over 3,000 gold. I made over 50,000 gold today from fishing up lava eels, and this wasn't even a good day. I have done, way better than this. You could probably get 50 plus in a single day if you put up a tent and you started the next day bang on 6 o'clock, ready for road. You could easily get 50 of them. It's back to Clint now the next day. We're going to upgrade our axe to the final tier, the Iridium Axe. It was ready on Ginger Island, so the west bird was the emerald bird, so the emerald goes on the western pylon. We also panned up the fossilized tail, nice. We're getting very close now to completing the Professor Snail archaeology side quest. Thanks to the journal scraps we've been finding, we managed to get another golden walnut just up from Birdie's house, which was nice. Because we had some more golden walnuts on us, I decided to unlock the shop merchant over on Ginger Island by submitting 10 golden walnuts here. You can get some very nice things from this merchant, including galaxy souls if we trade in radioactive bars, Now that is a little bit of a ways away, but you never know what we can achieve in 1 year on this farm. You can also get pineapple seeds, taro tubers, deluxe retaining soil, lots of nice things to be had inside that shop. I was back in the volcano dungeon again today, and the reason why I'm farming this now on a daily basis is I need some very specific items. I would love, absolutely love, to get my hands on the hot Java ring. Every time you beat an enemy, they can drop a coffee or a triple shot espresso. That speed buff, that permanent speed buff, more or less, would come in very handy in getting around. It would be nice to get the dragon boots as well for that extra piece of defense. I managed to hoe up a new book of power here. Jack be nimble, Jack be thick. Gives a permanent increase to defense of +1. We're now going to go back to Clint, and we are going to get Clint to process some golden coconuts. The first one will always give you a golden walnut, but what I really wanted today was the final artifact piece, the fossilized skull, but we weren't that lucky today, so it was back to the volcano dungeon to farm up more items. Now that dragon tooth cutlass we're using at the moment, that will become our primary weapon, and we are going to put some serious enchants into that. All of these dragon teeth that we're collecting, they are going to be resources used to enchant our dragon tooth weaponry. I also picked up a dragon tooth club, which was really nice. I will be absolutely putting resources into that as well, so I can swap between using a sword to using a club. The next day, we are going to visit Clint again. We have more golden coconuts, and we got very lucky today. We finally got the fossilized skull. Now, we also got our iridium axe back off Clint as well, so we are going to give Clint a new tool to upgrade. This time, we're going to hand in the copper hoe. That will be upgraded all the way to an iridium hoe. We're also going to visit Marcelo, the book merchant. We're going to purchase a few things here. The first thing we're going to get is Way of the Wind Part 1, which will give us a movement speed buff, and that is permanent. Unfortunately, we didn't have the funds to afford Way of the Wind Part 2. I think we were short by 5,000 gold, but look, we can get it the next time Marcelo opens up. Instead, we'll get the skill book for farming, and we'll also get the Woodcutter's Weekly, which will give us some foraging XP as well, and we'll pick up the price catalogue too. Now, we don't need the price catalogue because we're using the UI Info Suite 2 mod, but I always just pick it up anyway, just for the sake of the collection. Just north of Marcelo here, we can get a prize ticket. It's hidden behind that balloon. We're then going to go back to our regular farm. We're going to cut down all of these mahogany trees, get even more hardwood. The hardwood is going to come in very handy now because we've made our fish smokers, so we can now move on and make other things. But first, let's go back to Ginger Island. Let's donate all of these items. The snake vertebrae are very easy to get now because you just have to mine open rocks, and there's tons of rocks on the farm. There was also hoeing spots all over the place as well to get those. We got back lots of golden walnuts from that, and because the hoe has been upgraded, we're going to use bombs to hoe up the rest of the secret journal scrap golden walnuts. So we will get 10 additional walnuts once those melons fully grow up, because the frog will give us 5 for the melons and 5 for the wheat. And if we complete the gem bird puzzle, we get a few from that too, and that should be enough then to get into the secret walnut room. So we're enchanting the dragon tooth cutlass with dragon teeth at the moment. There is a chance, if we're lucky, we'll get 2 enchants instead of 1. Now, it got a +5 attack there, that's nice. But what I really want was a +5 attack and a +75 crit power together. We got very lucky with the last dragon tooth, and we managed to get just that. It was insane luck, but I'm so happy we got it. If we didn't get it, we would just collect more dragon's teeth, we'd collect more cinder shards, and we'd keep going until we got it. So they're very nice enchants, and that's not even the weapon fully enchanted. We'll put rubies into this now, increasing its base attack damage. Eventually, we'll take the rubies off and we'll put aquamarines on, increasing its crit strike chance. There isn't really much of a point doing that now because we're not spec'd for critical strikes, we're spec'd for base damage instead. I got the super rare mushroom floor here in the volcano dungeon. It's always nice to get this. I think those little magma cap enemies are so cute. I always feel bad when I kill them. But you know what? When they die, they do drop lots of magma caps, and that's a win for me. For the rest of the day, we are going on a tree cutting spree. A train also passed through Stardew Valley, so I ran up to the bathhouse area to check it out. But alas, it didn't drop anything of importance. It actually dropped nothing at all. But while we're up here, we might as well cut down all of the trees. We still have a ways to go to get level 10 foraging. We need 5,000 XP in total. So it was into the secret woods. We're going to eradicate all of these tree stumps. We're going to pick up all of the forageables here as well. And believe it or not, it's not going to take us, that long to get level 10. There's still lots of trees around the place. But once we get the huge tree farm up and running on the quarry, that should seal the deal for us. and that would be foraging done and dusted. Now, we need a lot of stone to make a lot of tree fertilizer. Thankfully, all of the runs to the volcano dungeon have sorted that problem. We have stacks upon stacks of stone, we've got tons of coal, you can get so much coal in the volcano dungeon. We decided to do the trout derby today and collect as many golden tags as possible. Now, if I had challenge bait, I would be using that because if you get a perfect catch on a rainbow trout, it's pretty easy to get a perfect catch on them. You'll be putting up 3 rainbow trout at once. Chances are you'll be getting a golden tag every time you get a golden trout catch. The great thing about this event is that you can cycle through the rewards over and over again. You don't just get, the 5 or 10 rewards that he has and that's it. As long as you have golden tags, you can cycle through those rewards. So I ended up getting 4 Triple Shot Espressos today, which was nice. But the rest of the day, we're just cutting down trees. And that's the end of another Let's Play. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great week.